All right, I am here at the NADA J.D. Power Auto Forum at the New York Auto Show. Thanks again to LiftKit for powering all of our content today. I'm standing here with Stewart Stropp, who you have been a mainstay in conversations that we've had across these events for a long time. And we were just talking before we jumped on, and I think one of the conversations that's not being had right now is that it is so important when consumers are still asking us to be in person, where they're wanting us to care for them in an in-person relationship, whether that be in service or sales. How are we thinking about that consumer interaction? And you were telling me like, hey, that's something that you all are considering right now, and how to leverage the big data that you have access to into actionable insights into the showroom. Talk to me a little bit about like where the impetus for that was, why you saw a need, and how you're fulfilling it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're really focused right now on helping our clients, and this could be automakers, dealer groups, and all the way down to the field teams, individual rooftops, pull together all these different data sets that we know are out there, and that are all of them are very valuable. If you've got social review content out there, you've got content coming in from all the J.D. Power surveys that we put out, perspective there. You've got the surveys that are coming in from the individual automakers. You've got call center data. You've got data all over the place, but generally it kind of lives. Each one of those data sets live on their own. Yeah, almost in isolation. So it takes a lot of
different dashboards, different places. You got to log in.
Exactly. Yeah. So it really takes a lot of work, as things stand right now, in most cases, to make sense of that data across all those different origins. So what we are working on actively right now is building out a platform, and it's got dashboard functionality like we were talking about earlier. It's very easy to navigate, but it pulls all of that data together in a single location, and then we apply AI to it so that all that data, regardless of where it comes from, is categorized in the same way. And this is where we're really applying J.D. Power's decades worth of experience in the industry, categorizing data so that it makes sense. Like, we figured out how to categorize vehicle quality problems. We figured out right with IQS, and same thing with the sales experience, service experience, and so on. Using all of that knowledge to help drive these AI engines to organize the data so that regardless of where it comes from, a user, whether it be a dealer, a field manager, somebody at corporate, can make sense of that data and take action on it, either through a dashboard type interface, also, which is very common for AI, query tool functionality.
Conversation. Like,
exactly.
What do I do with this? Yeah.
So, I mean,
are you seeing any early signs as you're starting to aggregate data that might indicate like, hey, here's some of the leads that we need to be thinking about from a consumer experience perspective that broadly in the industry people are concerned with right now? Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, we just published the 2025 Customer Service Index results, or CSI.
Yep.
And what we see in that data, and we've seen this in recent years past as well, the brands that do really well, the retail networks that are doing really well in those types of studies, have figured out a way to build really strong connections with their dealers. And what I mean is create a lot of trust with the across the dealership network, actually with the retail customers. Through good processes, through really kind of prioritizing points of communication throughout the service experience, providing some kind of reasonable estimate for when the vehicle is going to be ready, obviously delivering on that, or if you know you can't deliver it on time, proactively reaching out to that customer and letting them know, and resetting those expectations. Also leveraging technology, like we're talking about, building these platforms to make sense of all the data. Even just using technology more effectively with customers through things like photo video MPI. We see a really strong positive correlation with using tech in those ways, particularly if it's on digital tablets, and customer satisfaction and trust. We actually see higher trust.
I can
metrics.
validate that. When I was at the dealership, we implemented photo and video MPI, and the like over a year and a half after we like really implemented it, there were multiple things. CSI, like real customer satisfaction scores. Yep. The biggest one actually was retention.
Absolutely.
People wanted to come back to get that experience again. I'm sure you're saying absolutely. Like, that's a real measurable metric that over time you can look back and say, if my MPI, right, process looks like that, people do come back to that particular experience.
No doubt about it. I mean, it's a very clear journey, if you will, between using technology like that to build trust that results in high level of satisfaction from that customer. And to your point, every year in the data set, we correlate satisfaction with intended service loyalty. Are they going to come back? How likely are they to come back to that same dealership for their service need next time? Incredibly strong correlation there every time. So yeah.
And I don't know if you have this data, but I'll call this out. Most dealers want to know, but is it going to make me more money, right?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
We saw a 40% increase in customer dollars per RO, customer paid dollars per RO, simply from installing video MPI in our service lanes.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
Amazing.
Well, hey, thanks for sharing some of the data. I'm encouraged of what you guys are doing, and thanks for spending a little time with us.
Thank you, Kyle, as
Absolutely.
always. All right. Great seeing you.